and welcome to my 2014 Capstone Presentation. My name is Natalie Strammel, and today I'll be sharing with you some highlights of my online portfolio. Let's begin with the introduction. I began my walk towards librarianship when I was in the 4th grade. It was then that I met a librarian who inspired me to be one when I grew up. Later, I earned my bachelor's degree in education from Eastern Michigan University and began to teach here in Kansas. Now, I'm almost finished with my master's and well on my way to achieving my goal. 2 years ago, when I began the SLIM program, I was very overwhelmed. But that didn't last long, however, because I quickly began to bond with the members of my cohort, and we have encouraged each other along the way. As I progressed through the program, I gained confidence in my abilities. And overall, I feel that Emporia State and the SLIM program have really prepared me, more than prepared me, to be a future librarian. Let's take a look at some of the artifacts that I have chosen to represent program outcomes. Many of the assignments were difficult to narrow into just one outcome. Sometimes I relied on the name of the class to help me. That was the case for LI 801, Foundations of Library and Information Science. Obviously, that assignment would have to go with Foundations of the Profession. It was also the case for LI 804, Organization of Information. Organization of Recorded Knowledge and Information obviously goes with this assignment. The artifact I chose for this class was a Prezi created by Ashley Johnson and Lisa Jolliffe and myself. This artifact was perfect for outcome number 3 because we had to choose a topic and create a controlled vocabulary and categories in order to organize a small collection. I uploaded a PDF version of the Prezi, and this is what it looks like. It included scoping the vocabulary, some examples of how we sorted out our information, definitions of our terms, and examples of what it would look like if you were to search for, say, Cinderella. It was a really fun activity, and it was even more fun to present. And along with our presentation, we got to learn a lot about other types of information. Like there was a group that did sports cars and another group that did types of beer. It was all around a really fun time, and one of the classes that I really remember most. Okay, getting back to the portfolio itself, another class that I really enjoyed was LI 832, Information Resources and Services for Young Adults. The artifact I chose from this class fits perfectly within the outcome number 5, References and User Services. I created a book talk to promote a series by Scott Westerfield. I focused on the first book in the series, Uglies. The video is somewhat lengthy, so I won't play it during the presentation, but this artifact is a great example of providing services to young adults, and I plan to make more in the future. My third favorite artifact aligns with outcome number 8, Administration and Management. This artifact was created for LI 857, Designing and Implementing Programs for Children and Young Adults. This assignment required my partner, Kathy LeClaire, and I to plan and develop a summer reading program. It took a lot of time and effort, but was very rewarding. We mastered management and administration skills while creating a budget, timeline, staffing schedule, and contacting different venues for information. Take a look at it real quick. As you can see, it's very organized, and we had to plan for toddlers, children, and young adults, including a budget, which is down here, and we had to use actual information and provide where we got the prices from. So it was like planning a full-fledged program, and I found it very valuable and a great learning experience. Moving on to professional values, I found the challenges to be similar to identifying program outcomes. When identifying artifacts, I rely primarily on assignment titles and my syllabi. My top two artifacts demonstrate professional values that fit outcomes number 1, service, and number 3, integrity. The Book Buddy program that I developed for LI 851, managing the Library Media Center, fits perfectly with value number 1 because it focused on serving the community as well as school children. The program, if implemented, would provide an after-school snack, a family learning activity, and a bedtime story to children who are identified as homeless within a school program, like an elementary school. This is what it looks like. We had to use a specific amount of items. Notice the materials list. The professor gave us a list of materials that we had to choose from, and so I chose to use those to create the book bag program. I hope one day that I'm an elementary librarian and I can actually implement something similar to this. I think it's a good way to reach out to students that are identified as homeless. Now let's take a look at professional values. Professional value number 3. I chose the revised budget project that Don Nordyke and I completed for LI 855, collection management and development. This artifact fit value 3 because we had to make some big decisions that affected the staff and patrons of a library system. We were required to look at a real library budget, in this case the Wichita Public Library, and make a 15% cut. We quickly realized that this is a huge cut and could definitely have negative repercussions. Instead of cutting out things that would directly affect our patrons and staff, we decided to cut obsolete resources and cut down on databases. And we also found ways to increase revenue. We wanted patrons and staff to be directly affected as little as possible. I had more assignments than I had values and outcomes, so I chose a few works that I especially enjoyed making or participating in. These are all videos, so I'm not going to play them for my presentation, but the first one is an interview assignment that I completed for LI 858, Information Literacy and Instructional Collaboration. For this assignment, I interviewed a practicing librarian about her collaboration practices, and in a paper, I critiqued her efforts and made suggestions for improvement. Overall, she did a really good job. There are just a couple things I had to suggest. The second video is an informational video about services provided by the library. This was supposed to be geared towards new educators to a school that I would be the librarian at. This was really fun, and I got to actually think about like what I would possibly do if I was a librarian trying to get new teachers to come visit the library for professional purposes. I created this for LI 851, managing the library media center. Finally, and possibly my favorite part of my whole SLIM program, is a video that I created, well, I didn't create it, but I participated in with the Hutchinson Public Library Young Advisory Board. Each year they create a movie based around their summer reading program. And this past summer I did my public library practicum in the children's library with Terry Christner, and so I got to participate, and I have a little part in the film, and I held the boom, which was a really good time. And overall the kids had a great time and they did a really good job. The final piece to my portfolio is my resume. I included information about my teaching experience and my certifications, as well as my educational background, of course. I also included some of my computer skills and things that I'm able to do in that area. That is it. So I hope you enjoyed my portfolio and take the time to look over some of the things that I didn't get a chance to present. I really enjoyed my time at SLIN and through Emporia State, and I've only ever had good things to say. And I look forward to being a librarian in a school library one day.